Hi, Peter Bernstein, Senior Editor of TMCnet.com. We are here at ITEXPO West in Las Vegas, just off the show floor, in fact, and we're grabbing interesting visitors in order to get their view on where things are going in the industry. The segment we're talking about now is really an interesting one. Encore Networks, Greg Holt, Sales Manager. Why don't we walk through a little bit? You're one of the rarities who are still left, which is you actually make hardware.
That's correct.
Although 90% of it's software anyway. Business continuity all over. You're a connectivity company.
Correct.
And so why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Encore, and then let's get into some of the industry trends.
Sure. Encore Networks is a manufacturer of cellular broadband routers and for commercial and industrialized ruggedized marketplace. All right. So we are the manufacturer. We're located, our headquarters is in Chantilly, Virginia, and we support the various markets, both wireless and wireline. And the reason that we're here today is to launch a brand new product. It's called the EN2000. And we chose ITEXPO as to be the venue to launch this product.
So tell me, what does it do?
Oh, it's great. It's a great product, Peter. It's going to be the very first sub $300 IPsec VPN broadband router for business continuity failover backup marketplace. All right.
And let's walk through the specification a little bit, because that's kind of, when you talk about failover, and business continuity, you're also talking about bandwidth aggregation, because when things go bad, you want to make sure that you have business continuity says, I need to have enough connectivity to run all the things I need to run, right?
Correct. We see this actually fitting into the small to medium-sized enterprises that are getting their primarily wide area networking services from a cable provider like a Time Warner or a Comcast. But obviously, what happens when they experience LOS, loss of signal? What happens to my business at that point? So what is my fallback position? Well, this device enables them to actually have a backup plan, disaster recovery, a fallback position. And so what the EN2000 will do is in the advent of LOS, loss of signal, of the enterprise's primarily wide area network services, is basically it will fail over to Verizon 4G LTE service. That actually becomes your de facto wide area network servicing for both data and voice over IP for the enterprise. Now, this is always going to be viewed as a temporary solution, all right? Obviously, when there's reacquisition of signal from your primary WAN provider, then basically it goes back to that primary WAN, and then the EN2000 goes in kind of a wait mode, waiting for an event like that to happen again.
But as it could be also a standalone device if something happened to the additional hardware that was on the premise in terms of true WAN connectivity as well.
That is correct. The EN2000.
I mean, we don't have the box with us because we
right,
can show where.
I wish I actually had one
we can
here
show
where
where things plug in, but
correct. Yeah. So, well, you and I, we can envision that. I mean, it is a full enterprise class router. So, I mean, it will do IP pass through. It's got a firewall, it's IPsec VPN. It kind of supports up to 5 GRE tunnels for encapsulation and obviously encryption with IPsec. So let's just say in an academic scenario, you were to lose your Cisco ASA router as an example, this actually could work as your enterprise router until, your primary enterprise router is restored.
So let's I can't let you go without talking about, so who's the low-hanging fruit in the market? Who's the customer?
The customer, this is really what I consider small to medium enterprises that need a WAN failover backup solution, but are sort of technically challenged. And what I mean by that
so we're talking about bank branches,
sure.
Retail franchisees.
Exactly. I mean, it really is kind of two scale. Is we see large deployments for large remote locations like in banking and financial institutions, but we also see smaller to medium-sized enterprises of employees of 50 or less that may not actually have on-staff IT support, but they usually subcontract that out. but they need this type of technology. It actually has to be simple and easy to deploy and manage, and this device allows them to do that.
Well, thank you for stopping by. Important market, business continuity, and being able to, I think all of us in the United States, in certain areas of the country, have lived through the Katrinas of the world and this Hurricane Sandy's and other events where connectivity was hard to come by.
Correct.
Can really appreciate the value of what Encore Networks is doing, and hope you had a great show.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity, Peter.